become more expensive, and the demand for such goods will then decrease. Yeah, I know you hate this balance of payment stuff, but pay it. Just remember, you have me teaching you. Okay, so
Black Dragon
I don't know
Fight
if it's
Club.
this book, because I'm going basically on 3 books that I integrate and I take notes, and I believe that this is the best system. That's how I look at it. Impact of credit crisis, and then I wrote also COVID-19 on trade. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to think about this. That I'm telling you, reading it. What do you think the impact on trade was in, let's say the credit crisis? I believe it was the financial crisis in 2008, 2009. Pandemic. Let's say the Great Depression. Might have been. Reaction on international trade. Would you expect international trade to about volumes now to increase in a pandemic or a financial crisis, or yes, of course it's going to decrease because you have an external event impacting
Fight!
world trade. People, preservation, and also nations too, for preservation. So let's see what I do. Weakens the economies and national incomes, and therefore spending, both imports and exports. MNCs, the multinational corporation, cuts back on their plans for everything, for investments, for spending, for hiring, right? Everything's going to decrease. Preservation mode. Thus, trade flows are reduced. International trade is facilitated by letters of credit. I used to work in the letter of credit department, by the way, in an international bank, and in foreign, which was part of the foreign exchange program. We had to rotate. I did which are issued by commercial banks if they have importers promising to make payment upon delivery. Exporters during a crisis are less willing to accept those letters of credit. March 17, 2020, COVID-19 health crisis. Providing help to companies that are having a hard time getting short-term funding that they need to operate. That's when the Federal Reserve came in through the CARES Act and had special lending programs to facilitate not just trade, but the existence of companies. They wanted to get liquidity into the credit markets. I always state credit is the lifeblood. Without credit, you can't exist. The company needs credit. So let it. I mentioned earlier about those zombie companies, the junk companies that are only still in existence because of the low interest rate environment, and then they're still issuing debt today because investors are searching for yield. If they can get 4% yield on a junk company in this low interest rate environment, they'll take it. And eventually, these times will change, and you'll get higher interest rates, and there won't be a zombie company, there'll be a bankrupt company. That hasn't happened. They're still walking dead. Okay, then I mentioned here about balance of trade, payment deficit. Okay, balance of payment surplus. Basically, you have more funds coming into the nation, so you have more credits than debits. More funds for trade and investment coming in and paying out. Remember we talked about income versus expenditure? And basically that's what's happening here. You have more income coming in and your expenditures are less, so you have your credits are greater than your debits. And will result in an appreciation of that currency. And the current account balance should decrease over time. As this is all theoretical, as the currency strengthens and right here, goods exported becomes more expensive, and then the demand. So there's a shift. Now this is in theory. I don't think it really happens, because then you would have what's called this equilibrium rate. Okay, and then that equilibrium rate is going to change again. Okay, based upon getting that quantity demand in aggregate versus that quantity supplied in aggregate. So when you have either a trade deficit or a trade surplus, that's going to constantly shift over time based upon the market forces of supply and demand. And it's a different issue in we're going to get to that in a minute, in the fixed exchange rate regime, where the government has to modify the surplus or deficit. And BOP deficit has the opposite effect. You have what? Now, debits are greater than credits. So you have, right now, at this moment in time, you have excess imports over, X, because you're in deficit. Imports are greater than exports. It leads to a dependence on foreign investors, and the currency is overvalued and it will depreciate over time. So as the currency weakens, the goods exported become cheaper, and then demand will increase. Yeah. So
Cassie Cage.
now,
Liu Kang.
here we go. If I lost you before, I'm really gonna lose you.
Goro's Lair.
Here's the beauty of this. That when you have time, you can either read it a million times or look at the graph, because the graph will explain how the deficit or the BOP deficit or BOP surplus will shift.
Round one. Fight.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Okay. Balance of payments deficit at this moment in time. This means there's
Oh
an
my
excess
God.
supply
God
of the country's
damn.
currency at whatever prevailing exchange rate
God
that
damn.
exists in the foreign exchange market. Under a flexible, also known as floating,
Lost time in
rate
the
regime,
canteen.
the value of the country's currency will simply depreciate. Remember we talked about earlier, you could have a depreciation or a appreciation of the currency in
You
a
shaved
floating
again?
rate, flexible rate regime, and it's a devaluation or a revaluation in the fixed exchange rate
Round
regime.
one. Fight.
Basically the same thing, but for different ways. Okay, the value of the country's flexible floating rate regime, you have a BOP deficit. The value of the country's currency will simply depreciate to a level where there is no excess supply of that nation's currency. So here, supply greater than we get quantity supply back to quantity demand, or what's called equilibrium.
Round two.
Okay.
Fight.
At the new exchange rate level, the BOP disequilibrium disappears. So here you have quantity supply equals quantity demanded, and that's equilibrium. As long as the exchange rate is allowed to be determined by market forces, that external balance will be achieved automatically. All this stuff is saying, now you're in equilibrium. You have too much supply, now it equals balance, and you have supply and demand balance and equal. Consequently, the government does not,
Final round.
the government does not
Fight.
have to intervene in the flexible rate environment. The government does not have to take a policy action to correct the balance of payment disequilibrium. Flexible exchange rates. The government can use its monetary, fiscal policies to pursue whatever economic goals it chooses. However, under a fixed exchange rate system, the government may have to take contractionary or expansionary
Finish her.
monetary and fiscal policies to correct the BOP surplus or deficit at the existing exchange rate. Wow. If I didn't lose you before, I definitely lost you now. That's why you have to look what I have here. I have this